Hello, I'm Colleen Pearl the Cool Crone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a pick a card all about your jobs and money. Okay, so this is our pick a card reading for money and jobs, and this reading would be valuable for you at any time that you're drawn to come to my channel and watch it. So I'm going to give you a moment here to look at all the piles. Pile 1 is the Angelite. Pile 2 is the honey calcite. Pile 1 is the white selenite. So I've put them on top of the oracle cards and they're kind of pale, but I hope you can see them all pretty clearly. Just take a moment to look at the piles. So that's the Angelite, honey calcite, and the white selenite. Just give you a moment. And at the end of the video, if you want to know what decks I've used, it'll be time stamped in the description. I've done a screenshot of all the boxes for the actual decks that I use in these readings. All right, so let's get into the reading. This is the reading for everyone who picked the blue Angelite. And I have to say again, sorry for my thumb, it's still growing out, but the rest of my nails look pretty. And let's get on with your reading. So the first two cards actually conflict with each other. The first card is the Knight of Gabriel, and it's reflective of wand energy, confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic, and it's saying that it's time to take action and that you will know instinctively what to do. And then right after that, we get a card that says pretty much wait. The High Priestess, which is ruled by Archangel Haniel, powerful psychic insights, reflection, and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. Basically, with the High Priestess, you're not taking action. You're staying in the background, you're staying behind, and you're trying to figure things out and looking within for the answers. So the Knight of Gabriel is saying that you instinctively know what to do. But do you know what to do if you've got the High Priestess here? Either you are the High Priestess and that's how you know, or you think you know, and that more wand fire energy is going to push you into doing something that maybe you're not ready for. So I pulled a clarifier, and this says, King of Ariel, successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success. Use your resources wisely. So I'm going to say that for you that picked the blue selenite, that yes, your first step in this is to take action and also to look back on your plans that you've already put into motion and acknowledge what is successful. And then to be somewhat conservative in reserving your resources so that you literally don't run out of money, right? And not that I'm saying you're at risk of that, but you just want to be conservative. You know, nobody should be risky with their money right now. In COVID times, we don't know what's going to be happening in the next 6 months. So everybody should just be planning to be as stable and secure as possible. And then when we look at this High Priestess, this could be talking about what happens after you take those plans. Maybe you do have to take a step back and try to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. With this deck, this High Priestess, ruled by Archangel Haniel, is also saying that there may be secrets surrounding what you're trying to do, and you may know the secrets. You may be the keeper of the secrets, but if you don't know the secrets, you can certainly figure them out by going within. And all through this reading, it's talking about going within. In fact, the next card is 9 Epiphany, Archangel Ratziel. It says, joy through spiritual growth, be a light to others, answers that come through meditation. And this is actually their version of the Hermit. So in this card, along with the High Priestess, and especially coming right next to the High Priestess, I'm going to say that you're in for a time of self-realization, that you're in for a period of time where you do really need to go within. You need to meditate. You need to figure out what's important for you right now. You need to search for the answers within. And a lot of times when people get involved with spiritual energy or dealings or studies, They think that once they figure out the first kind of layer of things, that they've figured it all out, right? I gotta tell you, I've been studying this stuff for many decades, decades, and I'm still figuring things out. And that is the way life should be. If you stop figuring things out, then kind of what's the point? I mean, you're living, you're a human being, you're a person who is engaging in humanity. So what's the fun if you're not always figuring things out? So that's just my little pitch there. The next card that comes up is the 10th house. So I do know that we're talking about your career, and we're talking about your relationship with authority. So how do you feel about authority? About authority when it comes to, let's say, spirituality, as opposed to authority when it comes to your job and career? If your relationship with authority is a confrontational relationship, then perhaps you need to look at yourself. You know, look within, hold up a mirror, see what is it that is causing you to react so emotionally to somebody else having authority over you. It could be that that's an old paradigm that you can let go now, but you need more information in order to let it go. And that's what I think this reading is really all about. I think that you do need to look within for everything else that's going on in this reading. It's so, so, so important. So yes, you're going to take some action. You are going to be either the keeper of the secrets or the finder outer of the secrets. And you are going to be, after the dust has settled from this, you are going to be spending some time alone contemplating possibly your relationship with authority, or just contemplating those secrets that are, you know, because the epiphany is coming right next to the high priestess. So you may be really contemplating, what are those secrets? Why do I have to keep them? Or why do I not know them? So that's another thing. And it may be that the authorities in your life are keeping secrets from you, and that may be something that you have a problem with. All right. Then we're going to look at the next card, which is interesting. It comes right below, the way I laid the cards out, it comes right below the first card, which is that wand energy, which is saying take action, go forward, great passion for a cause. You know what to do. You already have that answer. This is very interesting. This card is about abundance. So this is saying that you have abundance, that you've already acquired abundance. And remember what I just said, you want to conserve your abundance in a certain way, not hoard it, not hold it back and be, you know, penurious about it, but you want to hold on to your abundance a little bit until we get through maybe the next 6 months, because we are in COVID times. So you want to be a little bit careful about that. And whether you're listening to this reading in December or June, you probably should take this advice no matter what. You are the person who is creating that abundance. Yes, that's true. And you probably will continue to be able to create that abundance. But you do want to be careful that you're not spending in a foolhardy way. That's what I want to say. Now let's move on to the Divine Animals card. This is the wolf. The wolf indicates that there is a need for you to claim your authenticity. For some reason, in the situations that you find yourself, you are behaving in a way other than your true self. You are not displaying your true nature. And as we'll see from another card that's coming up, this could be due to phobias, or it could be due to the fact that you have a trauma or scar that has yet to heal. So the wolf is an animal that demands authenticity. The wolf cannot behave in any other way than the way they were born to act. So for you, claiming the wolf as a divine animal is telling you that you need to drop the act, drop the pretend, stop trying to fit in, and be your authentic self. And this may be the actual issue that's causing you to have this back and forth here of impulse. So the fact that you are trying to achieve something, but then all of a sudden you're worried about secrets. All of a sudden you're having a problem with authority. And your problem about a particular authority figure may have been there all along, but now it's actually coming to the surface. And your inability to deal with these emotional issues is threatening your abundance. So the wolf is saying, well, yeah, you have to be true to yourself. So take a step back, do take the time for reflection, and realize that if you have not been behaving in your own way, take a breath and step forward as your authentic and true self. You may be very surprised at the outcome. You may find that people acquiesce to your wishes much easier when you are your authentic self. And just because this card is the wolf, and I'm talking about be your authentic self, this does not mean that you go jumping into a meeting and disrupt everything and growl and snarl at everybody. But it does mean that you have to assess your previous actions and see if they are really in line with your true values, with who you think you are, with your own integrity. Once you can come forward as your true self, I think the way will be smoothed out for you to see which plan of action is really right for you, and it will allow others to relax because they know they're witnessing your true nature, and they may be able to accept whatever you're proposing or whatever plan of action you're trying to take. This is reinforced by the next card. The Hanged Man is about the law of reversal. This card is saying that you do need to take a different perspective on things, and that different perspective should be informed by your true nature, by the wolf. It should be informed by anything that you have done up to this point that was not in line with your own integrity. This needs to be corrected. So you need to, and this one's saying it too, you need to take a step back, you need to reassess the situation and really look at it, and then come forward again, but calmly and within your true nature. And then you should be able to get everything going and flowing in the way that you want. Phobias, this card is very interesting. This is one of the past life cards. And this card is saying that the things that you're afraid of, the things that you have a literal phobia about, are perhaps not due to experiences of this current lifetime. They could be the result of things that happened to you in previous lifetimes. So how do you get past that? Well, one of the ways that you do that is by asking your higher self as you're sleeping to show you the answer in dreams and to allow you to remember it. When you're asking your subconscious and higher self, your angels, your guides, to show you, to reveal answers to you, it's important that you also include, and let me remember it. Because a lot of what happens to us with phobias and fears is that we bury the actual experience that caused them because it was traumatic. We don't want to relive that every day. That's normal, that's natural. But if you can't get to the root of it, you can't heal from it. And sometimes just remembering what the event was and realizing that perhaps we were a child when this happened and it was out of our control to have any control over the situation. Perhaps that's enough for you to begin the process of forgiving yourself for feeling ashamed or guilty or weak or, whatever. Just starting the process of forgiving yourself begins with identifying what happened. Once you do that, then you can begin to let go. So it's not enough, I can say all I want. Oh yeah, just let go of that. But if you don't actually figure out what caused it in the first place, how can you let go? You don't even know what you're trying to let go. And then we have the final card, the Sacred Scar. Now the Sacred Scar is a beautiful card. The Sacred Scar is saying that, yes, you have had scars in your life. You have had traumas in your life. But these are not inflicted upon you by the universe. There were opportunities given to you in the universe, and by contract, you came here and vowed to work on those issues. So the universe has given you opportunities and you make choices. Somehow your choices led to something that was perhaps more traumatic than it needed to be. And out of that experience, you feel scarred. That could be a physical scar, it could be an emotional scar, it could be a mental scar, could be a spiritual scar. In some way, you were marked or maimed by the experience, and now you have to grow through it. So, again, just as with the phobias, you need to identify that experience, you need to understand what it was, and then work through it. And this may be why you're getting two cards that are telling you, whoops, wrong one. And these are right on top of one another, too. You're getting two cards that are saying, you need to work this out. You're behaving in not a totally crazy way, but you're behaving in confusing ways. You're saying, yes, I want to go forward with this action. Oh, wait, there's somebody holding on to a bunch of secrets. Now I can't act. Oh, maybe I have a problem with the guy hanging on to the secrets, and so I'm going to, hold back. I'm not going to do the project. Well, that may threaten your abundance, That may threaten your paycheck. So why are you doing that? Clearly your career is important to you, or it wouldn't be coming up in this reading. So you need to, whoops, get the glare off there. You need to figure out how to approach this without pissing everybody off and without sacrificing your own authenticity. And I do think that this card is the key to everything. I do think the wolf, being authentic, understanding your own motivations, is the key to everything. I really think this is the center of the reading. And the fact that you have to deal with the phobias and the scars of a past trauma is not secondary, but it may lead you to understanding this authenticity. You may be able to go into your higher self and figure out what is your authentic true nature that you've been hiding. And you may be able to figure out, why have I been hiding it, just with dreams, with meditation. But releasing it for all time, that might do for like one event. But to release it for all time, you probably do need to deal with the phobias and the scar. So that's the reading that I have for you, everybody that picked the blue celestite palm stone. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave me some comments down below, and I'll see you next time. This is the reading for everybody who chose the honey calcite heart. I'll turn it around for you. Isn't that pretty? I love that honey calcite heart. She was hard to find. Very interesting reading for all of you. And I can see why you needed a reading. This is a pretty powerful thing. Just at the moment, you're feeling that you're in competition with others, that there is some strife, maybe even outright fighting going on that you can't handle. You're really becoming overwhelmed with it. It's not fun for you. It's not helping you. Now, usually when I get the Five of Wands, I'm saying, notice that the sticks are not touching the people involved. But actually, this is a ritualized fight depicted in the picture. You notice that there's stones in a circle around them. So this has been staged. This has been set up so that they can have a completely free space to fight in, and they're fighting, and they're using weapons, and they each have more than one wand because it's 5 swords. One sword is on the ground, so each of them still have 2 swords, one in each hand. So this is causing you to feel anxious and overwhelmed and out of control in your life, and that's where we start. And then we get the Devil card, and that's why I'm saying that this is actually that was actually a real fight in your life. The Devil in this position next to the Five of Wands indicates that while you are fighting, you are also being tempted to search for other solutions that are not going to relieve the anxiety that you're experiencing. If you succumb to the temptation that the Devil is offering, what you'll find is a temporary solution, and you will always need to keep going back for more of that temporary solution. Usually what the Devil will offer is something that is addictive, something that you'll have to keep going back to over and over and over again. And that's why I'm saying be careful of this temporary solution, because it's either going to cost you a lot of money or your health or both. So not good going with the devil. And the other side of you that's fighting the temptation to succumb is just really ruminating over the past. You're remembering that in the past things were lovely. Maybe you had a love. Maybe you had a beautiful relationship. You're remembering fondly things from the past and wishing, wishing, wishing that you could be back there in the past. So, honey calcite people, don't give up hope, because things are going to get a lot better quickly. Hang on to that hope from the past. Usually I would say, stop living in the past. That's awful. But really in this instance, that is what you need to hang on to. Hope and a life that you find beautiful and rewarding. Okay, the Astro Code card that we get, or what are these again? These are the Star Code cards that use astrology to give us messages. So this is the card for the 6th house, which is your daily routine of going to work, of going to the gym, of eating, your foods, of taking your dog for a walk, caring for your pets. So what you need to do is you need to really get into the balance that is required between work and taking care of yourself, and enjoy that balance. So it could be that you've gotten out of balance recently, that you've let one or the other pieces of your life kind of take over, and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling like you're in a big fight, in a big war with other people, and that's not good. You need to calm down, and you need to really look at the routines in your life and be grateful for the comfort that those routines can give, and reaffirm to yourself that you can live by reinforcing these routines, that this is good for you. So something that you might do is, maybe you got out of the habit of, say, going to the gym, or got out of the habit of cooking your own dinner or bringing your own lunch or something like that. And so because you got off the track, you feel like, oh, well, that's done. I can never do that. I'll never be able to do that again. And that isn't true. You can go back into the saddle. You can go back to that beautiful routine and embrace it once again. Just because you stop, like say you were trying to stop smoking or something, and all of a sudden you picked up another cigarette. That doesn't mean that you can't try again. And it probably means that you really should try again, because smoking is really bad. But if you've tried and feel like you've failed, that's just a temporary setback. You don't have to succumb to some really drastic measures. Remember that you were the one who came up with the idea in the first place to try to change that habit or introduce good new habits, because you were trying to recreate a lovely life that you used to have, and you can have that again. The next card, this whole reading, all these cards go along with each other really, really well, is release. This is from the Queen of the Moon, and she's saying that it is time to let go. So let go of whatever it is that the devil is trying to tempt you with. Let go of the anxiety about these things, because even though this may be happening in the outside world, it's a reflection of what's going on within you, in your inside world, in where you meditate, where you ruminate. You don't want to ruminate. You want to meditate and reinforce good, positive, healthy, happy things for yourself. And one way to do that is to release whatever is making you upset. So believe that you can get back here. Believe that you can have a life that is balanced and beautiful and wonderful, because you can. And the next card tells me that you can. The next card is the Peacock. This is a card of abundance. This is a card of prosperity and beauty and a lovely life. So I know that deep down, you know that you can achieve this. You just need to get back on track. And whoever is doing this to you, just back away from them as quickly as you can. Turn around and run in the other direction, because you don't need that energy. What you need is this very beautiful, unique energy that is you, that allows you to be prosperous in your life. So know that that is your spirit animal right now. That is the animal that is calling to you to remember who you are and use that beautiful energy to become once again prosperous and abundant. Now, the next card that comes up also shows that you can achieve things. This is the Sage of Worlds. This is a person who has mastered things. So you are a master of certain things, and you should recall that and remember that. Remember that in the past you were a master, and when you were a master you were very, very happy. So you're still a master. You haven't lost that, but you have disremembered it. So you need to remember it. And that's part of having that very healthy work-life balance, that very healthy set of routines that keeps you going, that keeps your engine pumping, you know, makes your life go round and makes it very, very happy. The next card is the past life card, and this was very interesting. I've never pulled this card for anybody before. Trust and faith. And in trust and faith, what it's saying is to recall or delve into, what do you trust and what do you have faith in? And if you don't trust very much and you don't have faith, perhaps seek guidance within about a past life when you were let down, or when faith and trust did not serve you very well, because it's probably not true in this lifetime. In this lifetime, you can trust and you can have faith. And if that's something that you have used in the past successfully, in the past, then by all means embrace it again, and know that with trust and faith, you can be the joyous, prosperous, abundant human being that you were before. And then we have life restored. And this goes beautifully along with the other cards. This is saying that the universe sees your struggle, it sees what's going on with you, and it's reaching out a hand to say, you can help yourself by reaching us. So go to your higher angels, your higher self, your guides, any beings that you connect to, commune with, because they're saying, we can help you release what you're anxious about. We can help you resist what you're being tempted by. We can help you reclaim what made you happy in the past. We can help you let go of those things that no longer serve you, and we can help you reclaim the abundance and beauty in your life that was there before. So this card really sums it up nicely. It's just saying that you are a child of the universe, you lost your way temporarily, and we're here to help you back and to tell you that this is the time for you to come back. So whatever you have to do, and I'm guessing that it will help for you to meditate. That seems to be the universal way that people connect with their guides. And you don't have to make a big deal out of meditation. You can just stop, sit quietly for a moment, take a breath in, hold it, blow it out, rest at that point where you have seemingly no air in your lungs. Take another deep breath, hold it, let it out, and just do that a few times to relax and center yourself. That really, really helps anybody. That's just a human signal to your brain that we need to relax and let go right now. And then if you have the time, close your eyes and think about you just floating off into space and meeting your higher self, maybe in the Hall of Akashic Records, maybe amongst the stars, maybe on another planet, or maybe just somewhere else on this globe, or maybe in another lifetime. So You can do meditation very simply, very easily, anytime you want to. And for you, the people who chose the honey calcite, this is the time that you really need to reconnect and reconnect to your soul purpose, to your guides, to what you had in the past, or whatever it is that you want to reclaim from the past. And this could be, you may be thinking about your childhood when your parents had a beautiful life. That's fine. And you want to create that in your life, go for it. Because you know what? You're the peacock. You're prosperous. You can do that. All you got to do is release. And the universe is here to help you with that. Because how many times have we heard people say, especially, for astrological stuff with the eclipses and the full moons and the new moons, it's time to release. You have to release. Just release. And so many people are just going like, how? How do I start that? Well, the first piece of it, actually, the most important piece of it, is to identify what you need to release. And sometimes we can't do that alone. So we need our higher self, our guides, and our angels to help us with that. And that's what you can do right here. So that's the reading for all of you who picked the beautiful honey calcite heart. Good luck to all of you. I know you're at a time where you really need a little help, but hey, this is the most beautiful card I've ever seen. I mean, you are able, look at the name of it, Life Restored. What does it say across the bottom? Life Restored, Priestess of the Phoenix. That's you. You can do this. I know that bug is kind of scary looking, but you can't do this. All right. I will see you next time. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Please be sure to leave a comment down below. Thanks so much. This is the reading for those of you who picked the white selenite palm stone, and this is an extraordinary reading. I just have to say that. Okay. So we're starting out with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a woman who is very busy, who keeps everything going, who is usually the center of activity. She's also a person who's very social, very dramatic, very energetic, and she likes to know everybody's business, not necessarily to gossip about it, but just so that she knows where everybody is at all times and what they're doing. So she's really an excellent manager, whether that's of her family or her business, and she's just a real fiery, sparkly personality. So that may be you. But we have an underlying grief or difficulty here. The heart is healing from grief. It's broken. It's been betrayed. It's been hurt. There's been a loss of some kind. So whatever that loss is for you, continue on your way in your grief and continue healing. And I'm sure if you are the Queen of Wands, that you will heal probably a little quicker than most, just because you do understand the human condition and you do understand that endings and beginnings are a natural cycle in life, whether that is life and death or the ending of a relationship and the beginning of a relationship. But you do understand that things have a cycle to them. Then we have the Justice card. So you may be a person who is terribly, terribly involved with things that need to be judged or decided. So this, I think, can also be a decision card as well as the card for justice in the law. If you are in a situation where you are waiting to find out about some kind of justice in the law, probably it will be decided in your favor. But this reading is supposed to be about jobs and money. So what I want to say is that as far as your jobs and money goes, I think everything is really settled. I think monetarily and mundanely, your life is in a very, very good place. Now let's move on to these other cards, because I think there's something more spiritual going on for you that you probably need to address. Will it affect your jobs and money? I don't think it will detract from your ability to earn money, and I don't think it will detract from you being able to do your job. I don't see you getting a new job right now. I see you focusing on something completely different, but I want you to know that prosperity-wise, you're perfectly fine. So the first card that we're going to talk about is the Star Code deck, which is coming up as the first house, arrival. So there is something that has changed within you, and what you're presenting to the world may not be exactly who you are. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how you enter a room, how you talk to people, how you give off the image of yourself, and what kind of an image you give off, because that's what the universe is saying is important for you right now. You are changing, or you have been changed, or you're going to be changed soon, and so you need to think about how you present that changed persona to other people. And this doesn't matter whether it's in business, family, or whatever. It's saying to think about who you are and how you enter a room and present yourself to others in whatever environment. The next card is from the Queen of the Moon deck, and this says beginnings. So another start, another arrival. And this card says that you've thrown off whatever's no longer needed. So you've already released things. You've already let it go. Good for you. And what you're starting up is very good for you. It's very healthy. Whatever you're beginning, and remember, this was also beginning. This was the first house. Whatever you're beginning is really, really positive and is something that you're really, really going to be good at and you're going to enjoy. And then we have your spirit animal, your divine animal card, and that's the seahorse. And the seahorse stands for equality of the sexes. So in the seahorse world, the male and female work together to produce the babies, as all species do, but the male carries the eggs and is actually the one that develops the protruding abdominal cavity to allow the eggs to grow until they're ready to be released live into the world. So this seahorse energy is saying that you are looking for equality. So part of your newfound identity centers around being seen as an equal, being seen as somebody who is not less than because you're female, or less than because of your sexual identity, or less than because of your socioeconomic upbringing, or whatever. You're not less than, you're equal. And that's part, probably, of what this new beginning is about, is seeing yourself as equal and seeing yourself as being able to start over in the way that you present yourself to the world. Then we have the Man of Crystals from the Voyager Tarot. And the Man of Crystals, this is a wacky picture, I know. If you were live, it would be a little easier to decipher, but I'll just go over this. There's these big crystals down here. There's a face over here. There is a painted circle with a yin-yang here. That's not an eye, it's a yin-yang. And then there's more crystals up here. Oh God, there's just so many things. There's buildings back here. I mean, there's just a lot of things. The bottom line is that this stands in for the Man of Crystals, who is the inventor. So crystals can be used in so many ways. They're used all over the place for industry, for technology, for timepieces, for computers, for jewelry, for meditation, for metaphysical work. They're just used in a myriad of ways. And so you, as the person who is starting out this new cycle, shall we say, you're kind of reinventing yourself. And that's why you've got the Man of Crystals here. You're the inventor of your life. And that life wants to be seen as equal. So you want equality in what you're doing in your life. And if that has to do with your job and money, then that's how you need to contemplate how you're entering a room and showing yourself to people. Because if you've started a new thing in the way you think about yourself, you need to inform the people around you, maybe including the people you work with, that you're no longer going to put up with anything that has to do with inequality. Okay, the next card is the past life card, and this comes up as wars and battles. So in past lives, you have probably been killed in a war or battle, a military event of some kind, and this could bring about any number of different types of problems in this lifetime. So I'm just going to lay this down here upright. You were a casualty during a battle, but you could have the response of being a pacifist because of being involved in a battle, or you could be one that really resists or does not like conflict or confrontations, and you may be conflict phobic. It could be that you can't stand loud noises, or you really cannot be around any violence. It could involve your relationships. It could prevent you from being in very close relationships because you're worried that that person is going to die and leave you alone. It could be that you were very involved in the cause of this war or battle, and you may be very vengeful against them. And this could give you a problem with your temper. You may be prone to addictions because of this. And you could have just ended up being a person who is willing to fight for things. You could just be an activist. You could be really involved with positive social change. You could be a legal advocate. You could be a medical advocate. I mean, you could just have expressed it that way. So there's a number of different ways that wars and battles could have affected you. And so I just want you to think about that in terms of this new person that you're becoming and your fight for equality. You know, how are you going to fight for equality? And then this is very interesting. This last card that comes up is White Tara. This is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. And White Tara is saying that you are a very sensitive person now because of who you are becoming. Because you are becoming more enlightened, you're raising your vibration, you're becoming a more cognizant person about the spiritual state of the planet and the spiritual state of people, and that you yourself have become extremely sensitive, and that may be tuning into this too. You've become extremely sensitive to those around you, and that you may need to be careful about how you interact with other people as far as your energy goes. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now let me just refer back to what she says, because she says some really good things. You've purified your inner world of thoughts, actions, and intentions. It's natural that you seek purity in your outer world as well. This is to acknowledge your heightened sensitivity, which is as real as it seems. You've stripped away the outer protective layers of unneeded defenses, which blocked psychic and spiritual awareness. Now you're on the path of ascension, which calls for your heightened awareness. And with this awareness comes new levels of sensitivity to the impure and the harsh. Your body is a trustworthy instrument of measurement of your tolerance level. Steer clear of that which your body signals for you to avoid. Take excellent care of your body, and it will serve you well. So you've gone through something really important, and it may affect your job, your money, your career, because you may decide that you need to invest in different ways of taking care of yourself. You may decide that, you know, in a few months you do need to change jobs or work from home or change something about your job, and that may or may not affect your income. But I'm sorry this reading isn't really addressing your income, your job and money, but I do think it's an important reading for you to get for all of you who picked the white selenite. So I'm not going to say I'm sorry it's not about your job and money. Totally, I'm going to say, hey, this is what you needed to hear right now. So with that, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, and subscribe. Please leave me comments down below about this reading. And let me know your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you thought of all my wacky cards. I just recently got a whole bunch of new cards, and I think I'm going to do a haul video about all the different tarot cards and oracle cards that I just bought. All right, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, so for those of you who chose the Angelite Palm Stone, I'm always asked what decks did I use in this reading, and I just thought I'd give you a little screenshot of each of the boxes for these decks. It would make it easier for you to identify them when you're trying to purchase them online. For the tarot cards, we used the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. For another oracle card, we used Star Code Astro Oracles by Heather Roan Robbins. For another oracle card, I used Queen of the Moon Oracle cards by Stacy DeMarco. Brand new deck to me, as is the Star Codes. Brand new to me. I'm really not used to working with them, and I just find them amazing. The Divine Animal Oracle, another new one for me, also by Stacy DeMarco. Voyager Tarot, I have worked with this one for, gosh, too many years to count. It's really a phenomenal one, and I love the images, which is why I only chose one card. With this, the Power Archangel cards, for each of the pick a card readings, I did 3 main tarot cards, and then I added a Voyager tarot card. And then the Past Life Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Brian L. Weiss. He's an amazing person, knowledgeable about reincarnation, and I believe he's actually a psychiatrist or psychologist, or maybe both. And he's a big name in the world of past life regression and reincarnation, so you might want to look him up. I believe that he's all over YouTube now, but he wasn't for years, and he's just a phenomenal resource. And then for the big oracle at the end, I did the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And this one is always hard to see on there because it's very white. The box is very white, but that's the Alana Fairchild White Light Oracle. Okay, that's it for the people who chose the Angelite Palm Stone. So for those of you who did the honey calcite stone for the reading, I picked a different configuration of decks for you. We did 3 cards from the Cosmic Tarot, which is by Norbert Lusch. I've worked with this deck for many, many years. I just love this deck. And this is a new deck to me, Star Codes Astro by Heather Roan Robbins. I'm getting used to working with it, but I love it because it has all the astrological references in it. It's amazing. The Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco, also new to me, but just phenomenal for familiarizing you with the power of each phase of the moon. Another deck by Stacy DeMarco, the Divine Animals Oracle, just has amazing information in it. Then the Voyager Tarot. Now this is a deck that I have used for years, and I'm pretty familiar with it. Just love the graphic images in this. It was one of the first decks I think ever published using collage technique to create the images rather than pen and ink drawings. And then Past Lives by Doreen Virtue and Brian L. Weiss. Brian L. Weiss is a big deal in the world of reincarnation and past lives. You should check him out. He's all over YouTube now. He wasn't before because he was just a serious psychiatrist and psychologist. And then once Doreen got him involved with this deck, momentum started to build about looking him up, and more people want to find him. The oracle card we used was the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Beautiful, beautiful deck that has so many ideas about meditations and rituals that you can do to work through particular issues that you might be having. So that's all of the decks that I used for the honey calcite heart people. For those of you who picked the white selenite palm stone, I'm going to tell you what decks I used in this reading because I always get this question. I'm just going to show you the box covers so that you can see what decks I'm really using for this reading. So for the tarot cards, I did 3 tarot cards from the Golden Art Nouveau, and this is a little hard to see, so I'll hold it up. The Golden Art Nouveau Tarot deck. I love this deck. I've been using it for I guess maybe 1 or 2 years now, and I really, really love the imagery on there. Then one of the oracle cards I used is the Star Codes Astro Oracle by Heather Roan Robbins, an excellent deck that I'm really appreciating. This is brand new to me. This is also brand new to me, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Love this deck. It really pertains to the phases of the moon. Another one by Stacey DeMarco that I really love, Divine Animals Oracle. This has just astounding information in it. I'm really enjoying this deck. Again, another new one for me. Then I picked one Voyager Tarot for each of the piles for the pick a card. And this is a deck that I'm pretty familiar with. I've used it actually for many, many years, going way back. This was one of the first decks that was created using the collage on a computer. So when this came out, this was just earth-shaking that it didn't just have the painted figures like all of the other Rider-Waite decks did. So this is an amazing deck, and I'm well acquainted with it, and I really love this deck. Then we have the Past Lives Oracle cards. This is by Doreen Virtue and Brian Weiss. Brian Weiss is a big deal in the reincarnation and past lives area. He lectures on this. He's a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm not sure which, or if he's both, but his name is coming up all over the place on YouTube these days in regards to past lives, so check him out. And for the actual Goddess Oracle, I used the deck, funnily enough, called the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. This is also by Doreen Virtue. And I think, even though Doreen Virtue is not putting out decks anymore, I think if you look in on, start with Amazon, and then that will link you to Etsy, or, you know, it probably won't link you to eBay, but I've found that they're available on eBay and Etsy limited because, you know, it's somebody else's deck, so you're probably going to be buying them used. Anyway, these are the decks that we used for the White Selenite Palm Stone. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and that's it.